Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. We will just give it a couple of minutes and for a couple more people to join, and then we will get started.
It's National Christmas Jumper Day as well, isn't it?
It is. Everyone's got that one.
Red
Yeah.
and green should never be seen. I like the Grinch.
The
Yeah,
Grinch.
I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and this is my standard
Christmas
Christmas
jumper.
jumper.
That's fab.
Yeah, love it.
Cool. Just see a few more people joining, so we'll just give it a second.
Yep.
Lovely.
All right.
Right,
Okay.
perfect. We'll get started.
Right then. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our webinar all about account management.
Yep, today's session is all about the functionality available for supporting your team with managing your customer accounts. So that's from raising inquiries, getting an overview of a specific account, and reporting on your account trends.
Cool. Yeah. Before we get into it, here's a little housekeeping from Jan.
Yep, so all the account features that we'll cover today, they're available as standard. There's no extra modules required to use them. Oh, I had to quick there, sorry. We're recording and we will send the recording out to everyone at the end, to everyone who is here and who has registered. So you can watch it back at any point and send it on to your team if you would like to. And finally, the Q&A is open throughout the session. Please ask any questions that you've got, and we'll answer as we go along. We're at the end. That's it for housekeeping. So we'll move on.
Smashing. Right. So today we're going to be covering how to capture key contact and track finance preferences. Then we're going to get an at-a-glance overview of every account, new views and data grids. We're going to automate welcome emails to new customers, and then look at some common admin tasks for accounts that we've got, and then how to report on accounts and spot trends and drive actions moving forward.
Okay, so we've got lots to cover, so we'll quickly introduce ourselves if you don't know who we are.
Oh, it's this bit.
This bit.
Oh, I wish I hadn't worn that shirt on that shirt on that picture. And I need to get it changed because I've got more hair than that now. Yeah, so I'm a customer support advisor at accessplanit, and I've been here for 20 years. So yeah, I work from the customer support bit, and I'm one of those one-dimensional gym people, just like the gym and recycling. And I really like the data grid and the filters on the accessplanit system. That's my favorite bit.
Nice. And then I also need to update this slide because I recently moved into the product manager role. Dashboards is my favorite feature. Love the visual summaries that you get on those dashboards. And this is my fact that I need to update too. 160 unique roller coasters across the world. 200 target for the year, didn't make it 191. None short.
Still pretty good.
Very annoying.
Very good.
All right, lovely. So we're going to jump in. So to manage accounts efficiently, it's crucial to know who's who, both on your customer side and within your own team. So in this section, we're going to show you how to link the main contact for each customer and assign an account manager from your team. This is just going to make things like filtering, reporting, communication more possible and much more accurate. We'll also cover how to capture essential finance details, so how we're going to capture those PO numbers, any payment terms, so that your invoicing is just going to run smoothly, and that your team's always got the right information at the fingertips. By the end of this section, you'll have a clear system for keeping contacts organized and finance preferences on track.
Right then, so as Jack said, it can be very useful to track your key contact information for your customer accounts. So if we go into accounts and we right click on a bit of white space there next to one of the accounts and go to edit, we go down to the main contact, and two ways of doing this. You can hit the select button, find the contact, select them, click OK. Or you can type in, if you know the name, just type it in there and it should pop up, provided no duplicates, obviously. And then make sure you click save, just behind our heads there. And then if you use the breadcrumb trails, go back to accounts, you can then see on that particular row, you've got the main contact user and there's a little preview option. You can just click that, get all the information on there, the courses are on there, all the details, contact information, etc. And then you've got the account manager name, you can actually filter it, top filter, select account manager ID, put the detail in there, Betty, and then preview that filter, and then you can see everything that Betty is the account manager of.
Yeah, awesome. So in addition to filtering on this accounts data grid, this is also a filter that you can include in reports and also in dashboard gadgets too. So moving on to tracking financial preferences. This includes setting their invoice terms and if a PO is required for their booking. It's really easy to set up, but it is only available for super administrators. That's important to remember. So how you do this is we're going to go into the administration option, and the super administrators will be able to see this account finance options. So here we can see that we have our standard invoice term, which is 30 days after the date of invoice generation. But we're going to click the options tab. We're then going to click account and we're going to search for our account. So in this example, we're going to search for Hegman. There we go. So we've searched and we found Hegman. So we click into it. We can then provide an invoice term for this customer. So this customer gets 60 days after the invoice generation. And then you can tick the PO mandatory box if required in the bottom left there, if they are required a PO. And then we press update. And that is then going to save that preference for that account. So this generally across your platform will be 30 days, but this customer specifically has 30 days. So we'll pick that up in the platform when they're invoicing. So then as an account manager, having a clear picture of each customer at your fingertips is key to stay on top of your workflow and delivering excellent service. In this section, we're going to show you how to get an at-a-glance view of your accounts, so you can see the most important information quickly. So that could be key contacts, their finance preferences, recent activity, or their account status.
Cool. So the easiest, but certainly underrated, is the account preview. Very, very straightforward, this one. So right click on a particular row and preview. There you go. So you've got your account ID, the address, any bookings, the employees, and it contains the invoices as well. So all that information is there. It's just something that is often overlooked, and not many people realize it's as useful as it is.
Yep. Next is the highest effort. So this is using reports. So this is perfect if you have a key account that you want to keep an eye on their stats. So here is an example report, engine report that we've created for a specific account, Absha. So you can see we've got how many users they've currently got, how many active invoices they've got, listing out all their employees, any notes that are related to the account, any bookings on the account. Really, you can customize this as much as you wanted. If you don't want to see how many users they've got, or you only want the full list, you can have that. So this is very much how you want it to be. You can also export this, so you can click the export button in the top left there, and that's going to be able to then export it for you, so you don't just have to view it in this view. And you can also clone the report to make a version for another account. So if you wanted this layout for multiple different accounts, you can create it once, and then we can clone it, and just update the filter to show Hegman, for example, instead of Absha. So this is a really nice way to be able to use Report Engine to have a nice visual look of that report and be able to keep on top of that specific account. So we can see we've got all this different information.
Yep, and finally, this approach is an at-a-glance view of multiple accounts using data grid views. Data grid views are coming soon to all admins within the next few weeks. So right now, I think it's only super admins that have got them. We're rolling it out to everybody. So in this particular, this is only a couple of screenshots. So in this particular view, you've got account management. So we've got the account name, status last updated, account group name, very account specific. And then on the next slide, we've got a different view, which is contact information, I believe. Yeah, so in this one, again, same data grid, but you're looking at the phone numbers, who they are, their email addresses, the main contact. So again, very much like filters, but you've always been able to add the columns with the little button on the far right there, but you can specify a view of contact, and you can make as many as you like. But again, right now, this is a super admin feature that's coming out to all admins, but it's very useful.
Yeah, perfect. So we're going to now look at the automating welcome emails to your new customers. And first impressions matter. You can use your platform automation to make every new customer feel looked after without adding any extra work to your day. So in this section, we're going to show you how to set up an automated welcome email that triggers as soon as a new user registers with you. So we'll look at best practice for the email content. We'll look at how we can specify who is going to receive that. And then also how we're going to set the automation up to greet those new customers and set the tone of those relationships from day one.
Right, so the first step is you've got to build a great email template. So with this example, you've got, believe it or not, this is branded. That's a very generic image at the top saying welcome to Training Company. Then you've got your clear intro, your purpose. You want it to be warm and you want to personalize the information. I think if we scroll down a little bit, yeah. So you can obviously customize to whatever you like, but that's the sort of call to actions that you kind of want. You want a clear call to action to log in. You want accessible support, and you want professional but approachable sort of layout so that it's got everything you need to make sure you capture everything.
So then when we've got our email template, we're going to look at building the automation of this email. So what's important when you create a new workflow is putting in a title that conforms to your your style. So what format do you choose? So in this example, we have new user at the start, and that's telling us what this workflow is looking at. And making sure you choose the right module. So in this situation, we need to look at user because we want to be sending it out to new users. And then a description, making sure we fill in the description with a good little one sentence that tells you and people in the future what this workflow does. So you don't have to go into the settings and try and understand exactly what it does. That one sentence description is going to give you exactly what you need just by reading that sentence. And then we're going to look at the rules. So moving into the settings tab on the left, the only required rule for this is that the user has a status of active. This makes sure that the email doesn't send to users who you create with the status of new, inactive, or deleted. And then here are some examples of other rules that you could put in place depending on the way that you work. So the last booking is not empty. Marketing opt-in is equal to yes. So you only want to send it to those people that are open to marketing emails. And preferred language is in English. So if you work in multiple languages and you want to send these emails out across different languages, you could have a different one for, if you had one for French, you could have preferred languages in French, and that will send out the French template as opposed to the English template.
And this with the workflow action itself. So these are different options on it. You've got 5 minutes after date created, or after the workflow's created. Send on action date only. I have a very quick explanation for this one. If you've got a workflow with 3 actions and you've got send a week before, a day before, and a month before, if you've got send on action day only and someone joins immediately, then they won't get the previous one. So it's basically saying if the date doesn't make sense, only send forward. Again, if any questions on that, pop a ticket into me and I'll explain in further detail. So you've got the from address, training. If you look to the extreme right, you've got the domain there, training host department. Then you've got obviously the to address, email address field. That can be a constant. In this case, it's a field. We're not doing a consolidate in this one. And you've got the name of the email template at the bottom there, which is welcome email.
Perfect. And once everything's set up, test and set your workflow to active. So that's how we automate. We're now going to move on to just some common admin tasks for accounts. So even with the best processes in place, there are always day-to-day tasks that keep your account data clean, organized, and ready for action. In this section, we're going to walk through some of the most common admin jobs you'll handle when you manage those accounts.
Okay. So capture customer information per account. So why is this useful? It's just a good way to capture data, basically. So you've got the key contact field there. That's actually a custom field. That might be a case of, right, I really need to make sure that this person or this account is one that I'm going to get in touch with quite a lot. So if you went to the admin area, I think I've got a screenshot of that. This is how you create that particular custom field. So got a description like Jack says before, give yourself a descriptive field so that you can see it in data grids and you know what it's about. And in this particular one, you see it says type checkbox. So it's literally a simple box. On the previous screen, you saw it just a little tick. And then the location is whereabouts on that previous screen it lands. So it's the module of account, so company, and it's the page details, and it's the section of identity, and that's where the tick box will land.
Perfect. And then a big part of account management is recording and processing your customers' inquiries about the courses that they're interested in taking. So maybe they're going to phone your team up, they'll drop you an email or mention something in passion during a training session, for example. Raising an inquiry on their behalf means that every request is captured, it's tracked, and it's actioned. If you're not using it yet, the opportunities area in your accessplanit platform is a core module, so it is included as standard. And logging your inquiries in here means that you get a complete record of customer interactions. Nothing's going to get lost in inboxes, in notes, or sticky notes on someone's desk, for example. You can track follow-ups to see at a glance what customers ask for and also what's already in motion. You'll be able to spot patterns or repeat themes with inquiries, and also use that workflow automation to provide a great customer experience and take away some of that manual tasks as well for your admins. So creating an inquiry, this is what it looks like. So when we create a new inquiry, your title again. So we need to make sure that we put a title in there of exactly what it is. So often people will put the account name and inquiry or something more specific. And again, the overview is kind of similar to that description field. Give it a one sentence overview so that you can remember what it is without having to dive into the opportunity every single time. Our description box is then where we're going to go into that more detailed description of exactly what they want. So what course they're looking at attending, how many people they want to send, do they want it in person, do they want it on Teams? All that more information can then sit in that box. When we scroll down, you can then see we've got the contact information. So the contact details section is all about the account who wants to book, so your account. So in this example, Rumble and Bumble, you can pop in their contact details and then you can link it to an account or to a specific user as well. And then if we scroll down a little bit further, the assigned to section is relating to your organization. So the owner account, that's going to be the training provider. The assigned to users are who is looking after that inquiry. So I could be assigned to look after that inquiry. The initiated by user is who opened that inquiry. So Stuart could be in that example because Stuart initiated it, has then passed it on to me, and I'm then assigned to that to work on this opportunity. Looking at the status, we've then got sales stage. So these are custom list items, I believe, but you can choose from the drop-down list. We've got the closing date, so when do you expect it to close? And then we've got probability. How likely is this opportunity to close? And then if you do lose it, we've got this lost reason here. So you can put a bit more information about why you lost that opportunity. Was it because it was too expensive? Was it because they had no budget left? Was it because of redundancies? So they're reducing costs? Whatever it may be, it's easy to then be able to report onto. And then finally at the bottom, we've got source information. Again, really good for reporting. So you can choose the source. So is it phone? Was it email? Social media? Whatever it may be. The type, so we've got inquiry here. That's generally what people use most of the time. And then competitors, if you know any of their competitors, just helps you be able to report, know more about that customer as a whole. And then finally, in this box, this is where we're going to choose the courses that we are looking at assigning to that opportunity. So what course is that customer interested in? You can see here on the left under details, we've got items. So we click that and then we can add a new item and this is what we get. So from here, you can choose the type at the top, which is course. You can then choose the course template, which then gives you a shorter list for courses of all those available courses that you can offer to that. If this is going to be a bespoke course, you can also create a course specifically for them, or it will also show you public courses as well. Then from here, you can put the costings in. So how many people? We mentioned before there's going to be 7 delegates, and the price that we've offered to this organization is £80 a delegate. So that's where we pop all that information in.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. So and then once an inquiry has been created, you can process a booking for it, report on it, and then do all your normal automation.
So the final admin task is how to merge accounts together when you have multiple accounts. So in order to do this, you need to select the accounts in question that you want to merge. And then at the very, very top left, it's a little video, this one, I think, a minute. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
you select them both, and then at the very top left there, you pull the drop down and you're looking for merge. Click merge, and then that will ask you, out of the two accounts or many, which one do you want to be merged into? So you would hit select, you would see all the ones you've got selected, in this case two. You choose the master. I always recommend adding the ID in this point, and then you hit the merge button, and then that will put the other one in this case, or several, if you like, into that one account. So it is an irreversible process, by the way. But yes, that's how you merge accounts. It's very, very useful, but you just need to use it wisely.
Yeah, really good way to keep it all tidy. Perfect. So our final section today is on reporting. So understanding what's happening across your customer base is key to making confident and data-led decisions. This section, we're going to show you example report engine reports to analyze account data and uncover any trends that you're seeing. Even better, the reports we've covered today are all brand new standard reports that will be arriving on your platform over the next few weeks within that report engine module. These ready-made reports will give you instant visibility and actionable insights without having to build or configure any of these reports.
Right, so in this particular report, standard report, big spenders last 12 months. So we've got their account ID, we've got their account name, total amount invoiced, and the number of invoices. So you can look at the top revenue generating accounts. You can look at who's spending the most, how many invoices are going out. The way some people use the generator, they'll gather invoices together, send one big lump, or they'll send separate ones. You can see that at an overview with these different columns. And then the actions you can take, you can sort of prioritize your account management, allocate more support to your high value customers if that's the way you work, create tailored retention plans for accounts whose spend has dipped this year, and reward loyalty. You can kind of reward people that are spending more with you, spending more time, etc.
Yeah, perfect. So the next one is still about account balances. So this is where those invoices that they have maybe not been paid. So keep it on top, a great one for you finance teams. So you can see here again, we've got the totals per customer. So we've got the ID, the customer name, how many active invoices they've got, and then the outstanding balance. So you can see the outstanding balance for the top account, Habit Frami, is 10 and they paid 100. So you can see they've already made a payment of 100 to it, but we've got £10 outstanding and the rest all has that outstanding balance. So a really good way to manage your finances and know exactly who is outstanding. And then if we scroll down a little bit, you can see that this gives us a bit more of an overdue. So you can see the total overdue amount that we've got. So that's our total that we have overdue. And then you can see what's due in the next 60 days too, to give you an upcoming idea of what we'll be looking at. You can see here accounts. This is going to give you information such as accounts with consistently high outstanding balances are these potential credit control risks. And also patterns in overdue invoices. So is there someone that's always late paying? Is it a specific sector that's causing problems or not paying on time? Or is there a frequent invoice dispute? This is just going to help you prioritize those credit control follow-ups, flag any high-risk accounts where this is regular occurrence, and also give you the opportunity to support the customers where they have repeat overdue invoices. This could mean that you're missing the right finance contact, it could be that you're missing the PO, or it could be that they're struggling and need some support, and you can give that support to them. So that this report is really helpful in being able to give you that information.
So in this particular report, recently created accounts last 30 days. So we've got, I love the way that I'm pointing to the screen, like you can see my hand. I always do this. You've got the date created, account name, email address, latest booking, active invoice count, address, town, postcode. So spikes and dips in new customer acquisition is what you can see from here. Engagement in new customers, quality of new onboarded data. And from this, you can trigger like onboarding, proactive follow-ups. You know, you can chase people up. You can just at a glance see who's doing what.
Yeah, perfect. So before we move on to a Q&A, we're going to have a quick recap of what we covered today. So we first of all went through capturing the key contacts and tracking their finance preferences. So if they've got specific payment terms or if a PO is mandatory. We then had a look at an at-a-glance overview of every account, how we can do that. We looked at automating welcome emails to new customers and give you a few ideas of what you can do and the sort of rules that you need to get that in place. We looked at some common admin tasks for accounts and how you can keep those in order. And then finally, we looked at those reports to spot trends, drive action for those accounts that you've got.
Perfect. And that leads us on to the Q&A. And as always, we've built a couple of questions just in case we don't get any.
Yeah, perfect. So if you have got any questions, please pop them in the Q&A. But we'll go through these first. So the first one is, as an employee, an employee has moved to another place of work. Is it possible to be able to move them?
Yes, you can move them with employment records. It is important to note that if you do move someone with employment records, any bookings that they've made will still be with the original account. But yes, you absolutely can end an employment date and start a new one with a different company.
Perfect. The next one is, can I track opportunities through our sales pipeline?
Yes, you absolutely can. And the sales stages we're looking at now can be added to through the custom list items if you have any specific ones. But yes, you absolutely can.
Lovely. And final one, can I undo an account merge?
No, you cannot. I mentioned this previously. It's a really useful thing to do, but before you actually commit that button, just make sure because you can lose a little bit of data because the field that you're merging into, you're going to keep that ID. If it's going to be a blank field, it will bring some fields across. But just be very mindful before you do it that you can't ring up and raise a ticket and say, can we undo that merge? No, irreversible.
I think Stu's idea of adding the account ID field in is really good, so you know exactly which one you're merging into, especially if you've got the same name, which is possible. Having that ID, you know exactly this is the one I'm keeping. It means that you're going to be able to at least be able to, yeah, you're going to be able to.
Yeah, you
know exactly which one you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's more it's makes a little bit more sense with a user merge. I know we're not going to talk about users right now, but yeah, typically if someone's logging in, you would want them to keep their user ID. But it makes sense to say this account has all these informations on it, but it will actually merge. It will put together any invoices on the two and stuff. But it is always good to be like, this is the one I want to keep, so this is the one I'm merging into.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent.
So yeah, thank you all for joining us and thank you for completing the poll. That is our session for today.
Yeah. Have a lovely day. And like I say, if there's anything you're unsure about or you want more detail on, pop a ticket in and we'll come back to you on that.
Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Cheers.